I hope everybody's having a good day. Today's date is September the 26th, 2022. I'm going to do some real deep explaining here. I mean some serious explaining, and most people probably won't understand it, nor will they believe this. But I'm going to read it to you, and if you understand it, you know it's a good thing, and if you're in any of those areas, especially pay attention. Here we go, September 26, 2022. When is the next tornado in Bartlesville? And you know, the surrounding areas, you know, big events. It's September 26, and I can already show you a sample of the Storm Prediction Center map for the day that this will happen exactly. No one will ever believe me. So let's look at things and get deep, and let's do your math. The first thing was October the 5th, 2018. Number 45 had a steak dinner. And he said, "What storm? You'll find out." Well, October is the 8th month on the Roman calendar, the 10th month on the Gregorian calendar. And it's the Gregorian calendar on this particular equation. So let's just look. That would be 10/5/2018. We don't use zeros, so 1, 5. And then add up the numbers in 2018. And so you get 1511. And I'm sure you're saying now, that does not ring a bell, but just hold your horses here. We are predicting the weather for a specific area in Oklahoma. So back on March the 15th, 1982, Bartlesville was hit by a tornado just after 7 p.m. And on the Gregorian calendar, March is the 3rd month. And on the Roman calendar, it is the 1st month. So remember the number 315 as a number and a date. Now on the Roman calendar, this tornado in Bartlesville in 82 was on the 1st month, the 15th day, 1982. 1 plus 9 is 10. We don't use zeros. So 1 and 1. That's 11. Or you normally, when you say a date, you would say it like 1/15/82. And 8 plus 2 is 10, but we don't use zeros. 1511. In 2022, it is exactly 40 years since the last tornado. Or you know, 142 more days pointing to the final 3.5 months that are in the Bible. You know where. There is Jacob's trouble, and Jacob Bartles named the town of Bartlesville, and that name means like a farmer or supplanter. So on May 15th, 2022, there was a blood moon, you know, a full lunar eclipse. And on the Roman calendar, May is the 3rd month. So 3/15/2022. And in Eastern time, the maximum eclipse was at 11:11 p.m. And that is for a reason. You know, it gets real pap in the month. And Italy is shaped like a boot for a reason. And you know, the pap is, you know, Rome, Italy. Jacob's trouble and no one gets it. Jacob Bartles named it all. Phillips 66 Petroleum was founded in Bartlesville. And there's 4 horses in Revelation 6. And the name Phillips means lover of horses. And the 66 is pointing to 6 times 6 equals 36. And the logo is actually a wine glass, and the wine is red, covering the number 66. 6 times 6 is 36. And the cup. And there is a horse that is red. And there are 3 colors on this sign outlined in black, there's red, and there's white. So there's one more horse here, the pale horse. And in Bartlesville, that is the tree that escaped the New York forest. Pale green and beige. And it's called Price Tower. So there you have, pointing to all 4 horses there, showing up in Bartlesville. And a guy named Boots Adams founded Phillips Petroleum, and Italy's shaped like that for a reason. And this is in Washington County, Oklahoma. Washington means from the intelligent one. So drop your zeros in 2020 for the Ides of March, and the word is plural. And it is on March 15th every year, the Ides of March, and Cedar was assassinated in 44 BC. So 45 always said the word constantly, especially in 2016, extreme vetting. And remember that a red poppy and a tornado warning is also red. So is the horse of Mars. Mars means war. So there was a date associated with a red poppy on 3/15/1919, and when you do that, that is 1511. Extreme vetting here. And in Jesus, in the Bible, he inquired what was the name of the demons, and they said, "For we are many." That is a hint. But March is a riddle, and it comes in either like a lamb or a lion. The lion of the tribe of Judah. So 40 years. March is the first month again on the Roman calendar. So a tornado hit Bartlesville on March 15th, 1982. Really pointing to 1/15/82. You know, the 1511, 40 years ago. And then there was 9 more months. You know, 49, 7 times 7. And a week is 7 years. So 7 weeks, 49 years. It's pointing to Jacob's trouble. And things are not what you think that they would be. And on the exact day, a windstorm of 60 to 70 miles per hour hit Bartlesville exactly to the day. 7 years in 2015, pointing to the year 2022. And it lasted 4 or 5 hours, and it took out trees, and it was a non-thunderstorm wind event. And so in Bartlesville, on November 11th, 2015, was the exact day. So now you know the next Bartlesville major wind event and severe weather event is on November 11th, 2022. And the Pap, he has a lot planned for November 6th, 2022. So September, like septuple, means 7 on the Roman calendar. And November means 9 in Latin. So you know, extreme vetting. So the exacting day is the 315th day of the year. exactly, which is 11/11/2022. Again, November means 9th month. So 40 years and 9 months, the number 49, and 11 days. 11 symbolizes disorder and judgment. As the next tornado-like or high-impact event, wind event for Bartlesville, Oklahoma, the storm will come out of the north and out of the west. So the baffling February 24th, 2022 on the Roman calendar is the 12th month on the 24th day. The 21st year, not 2022 yet. And years are days. So there is an eve that everybody knows about on the 12th month, 24th day. And the name of the country where this happened tells you how this storm originates. And the first word I'll tell you unscrambled is air, and the second word starts with the letter N. America is Mystery Babylon. And this is why we are using the Roman calendar. So if you remember Moore, Oklahoma, 2 tornadoes here. So 1999 to 2013, 14 years. A double portion of 7, that is 2 weeks, pointing to a double portion of tornadoes hit Moore, Oklahoma. And Moore is actually used, you know, as a noun to mean more judgment in this riddle. And there was a 7 that showed up, and it was tragic. My condolences go out to whoever lost at Plaza Tower. That's bad, but there was a 7. And everything's revolving around the number 7, and it's pointing to Babylon getting a double portion of judgment. Oklahoma City and Oklahoma Indian Nation. That city and that nation, Babylon, there you have it. Babylon is referred to, so read 2 Kings chapter 2 and verse 11, or 11:11, extreme vetting here. So the next significant severe weather event in Bartlesville will be on 11/11/2022 on the Gregorian calendar on the 315th day of the year. So there is this little round thing that has had the number 3 in it for a while. Rounded trapezoids going out like the Mercedes star. And they're inside a circle. And it will say the number 1 on it that day. And the truth is right now they don't want you to know it, but it's got a 2 on it now. And the year was 1962. You also saw a 2 on it too. But no one will tell you that. Utterances I heard. And then I heard in an utterance, it is time to look at the models with weather. Oklahoma tidbits. And there were synonyms for this storm. One was hurricane, another was derecho, another was tornado emergency. And I got it twice that there was a tornado warning for Cain, Osage, and Nowata counties in Oklahoma. And there was a tornado emergency in Washington County, Oklahoma. I saw the number 726 on my phone. 7:26 p.m. But this is not a date saying, you know, this is not a date saying, but it is saying in Strong's Concordance exactly what you're looking for here. This event will be major. So in Bartlesville in 2014, on the first day of September, September means 7 on the Roman calendar, so it was 7-1. Add up the numbers 214, that equals 7. So 717. That's a big one in Strong's too. and a big 80 to 100 mile an hour windstorm at 9:02 p.m. it was. And just remember, 9:02, November means 9, and that hides 2 1s there. And it's the 9th month, or on the Gregorian, it's pointing to 11:11, it points. In Oklahoma, most would not know, and it'll be like scratching their head, like what they don't know. But Oklahoma is a big oak tree of America, and most don't know that. And Oak Park, with this particular storm on Labor Day 2014, was out of power 7 days. You're 0.7 again. So the Labor Day storm on the Gregorian calendar, 9/1/2014, was saying really also the 77th. And you saw all the big speeches. There's a big 77th something that just happened that's still going on right now. Or it should say one time at 77 and 717. I saw the number 77 in the eye of a hurricane. And then 3 days ago, which would have been 7/24, I think, of this year, I saw the number 44, the eye of a hurricane. So on September the 5th, 2012, I dreamed a big storm and saw it on a board. You know, this will come to pass Friday, which in that year was September 7th, 2012. And it came to pass exactly as a dream. 70 and 80 mile an hour winds in Bartlesville. And there were 5 dead. And the same kind of 5 counties we're looking at again now. And those are Osage, Washington, Nowata, Craig, and Ottawa. Over toward the Miami, Oklahoma area. A family was killed. 2 parents and an infant was killed in Nowata County. September 7th, 2012, Friday, when it said it would come to pass. 100 mile an hour wind gust blew a mobile home into a ravine. And then 2 more died in semi blow over. You know, tractor trailer trucks blew over. So this is telling us, this is information, 7/7/22. Open your Hebrew Strong's Concordance to number 7722. Storm or tempest, you know, is the emphasis of that. And it's before the 23rd year, or 23. And Friday is the future day that it happens, which is on Friday, November 11th, 2022. Bartlesville's next big high-risk round of severe weather, meaning big major events too. And there was an utterance I got in my dreams, and I got it like 7 times again. That probably had about 7 times. And it said, there will be no more scoffers on a very infamous day. And in Latin, November is the 9th month. And no one expects a tornado on Veterans Day 2022. I was shown the maps, and the severe risk level was level 5 for Ponca City, Bartlesville, Veneta, and southeast central Kansas, from like Sedan southeast to like Wichita. Then there was a hurricane hitting Texas, and this was coming due north up from south at the same time. Texas had a lot of problems, you know, with this flooding and this hurricane. And there was a big windstorm now on the Gregorian calendar. On December the 15th, 2021, last year, hitting Kansas up through the Midwest with hurricane force winds. 80 to 90 plus mile an hour gusts with some isolated 100 mile an hour gusts. So let's look at this math. On the Roman calendar, that was the 12th month. So on the Roman, or the Gregorian, it's the 12th. On the Roman calendar, it's 10 months. On the 15th day, 2021. So look at the first two numbers. Drop a 0, 1/15. March is the first month there again. And 1 plus 2 equals 3. You add up to 12. 3/15 again on the Gregorian. March 15th. Pointing to that. And the 315th day of the year again. So beware the Ides of March. And it's for a reason. Extreme vetting. Now you know what storm on Veterans Day, 11/11/2022. The land of Cain of December 15th, 2021 was confirmed also a derecho, which was a synonym for this storm. And there was a high wind event, another high wind event on November the 26th, 2019 along the Kansas border, named Winter Storm Dorothy. That means door. You know who's the door. You know, let Jesus Christ be the door. So let's look at it. 2 plus 1 plus 9, you get 12. Or 1 plus 2 equals 3. 6 plus 2 is 8. So 8 plus 3 equals 11. And the 9th month, November, and the Gregorian 11/11 again. And 60 to 80 mile per hour wind gusts with Winter Storm Dorothy. In 2022, there was a microburst on August 8th, 2022. Just a few months ago, maybe. On the Roman calendar, that'd be the 6th month on the 8th day of 22. 8 plus 6 is 14. And 2 plus 2 is 4. And that's 144. Jacob has trouble in Bartlesville with severe weather. Veterans Day will be for the record books for winds and war and tornadoes and a tempest. So we'll look at a well-known school in my town that was struck by lightning directly twice. In Bartlesville on the date of 8/8/2022, then again on 8/16/2022 on the Gregorian, August. And then the pine tree that was against the southwest side of the building in May, lightning struck that. So 3 times now lightning struck that school pretty much. Revelation 9 and verse 1. And then you turn to Genesis chapter 4 and read about Cain. And the guy in Revelation 9 verse 1 is why lightning struck the AC unit on August the 16th, knocking it out on top of Cain. And it's Rome. And 6/16 on the Roman calendar was the date, and that is the number for him. So on August 17th, 2007, the 8th month on the Gregorian calendar, and the 17th day of the 8th month of Heshvan, or B-U-L, Bull, they say it. It was a biblical month. August 17th, 2007 was on a Friday afternoon. Just remember back to September 5th, 2012, that dream I had. This will come to pass Friday. And August 17th, I told you, was a Friday. The storm hit in Georgia there at exactly 5 p.m. and I dreamed exactly 10 days out on August 7th. 100 mile per hour microburst hit my place. I saw my yard cover up trees. Totally unforecast. There was a 0% chance of rain. We were under a heat dome. It was impossible for any thunderstorm to form, and it did that day. So the sacred calendar of Heshvan, or the 8th month, on the 17th day the flooding began. And Friday, 11/11/2022 is 8/17 on the sacred calendar, the sacred year. And so that's why August 17th, 2007, there was a 7/17 again in there too. So another windstorm in Bartlesville on August 17th, 2009. And 2009 emphasis, the number 2, so you have 11, and then the last number, 0.11. And in Latin again, 9th month, November. Supplanter, Jacob the farmer. So for what storm? 45 said a storm was coming. 4 + 5 is 9. So go read about the storm they told you about, Jeremiah chapter 45. All 5 verses. Behold, I will pluck up, and that means supplant. Jacob, you know, means supplant. Jacob Bartles, and now we know when the next tornado hits Bartlesville, Oklahoma today. It'll be Friday. Much love, y'all.